Jonathan. While we're there, they're looking to get a scan of why Jonathan is not really adapting, but he is adapting to his powers when we see an Eradicator. He looks like the Eradicator from the old series. The visors, the cape, the shield. We also find out the origin of this particular Eradicator. He was created by Zod on Krypton to kind of like their military force. He witnessed Krypton explode, and he saw a rocket, and that's why he was following to Earth. He got to Earth, he followed the yellow sun. Now his mission is he's looking to preserve the Kryptonian purity, and he scans Jonathan and notices he has a human side, so he's going to try to eradicate or purify the Kryptonian genome. But while he does that, Krypto jumps in front of him, and better or worse, if you want to call it, he was eaten by the Eradicator, but his cape falls off, and Jonathan ends up picking up the cape, and that's the image you see at the end of that issue. Superman number 4, Son of Superman Part 4, Superman and Jonathan deck the Eradicator, splitting him in half. When that happens, the Eradicator explodes, it sends Jonathan, Superman, and Lois to Metropolis in a bar, where who happens to be there but their old friend Bibbo. Bibbo has this moon rock, and they seem to be drawn with it. It has kryptonite inside of it, and that brings the Eradicator back, and we find out that he's been carrying the souls of the Kryptonians that he had eradicated, and he feeds off of them for power. He chases after Superman, and he wants to exterminate Jonathan because of the purity of the Kryptonian, and they buy some time, and Superman puts him in a airtight chamber and sends him to the moon to do battle. That's Superman 3 and 4. Eradicator was one of my favorite characters during the Death of Superman and the Reign of Superman storylines. This one is kind of similar to what he was before, which is a program to preserve Kryptonian purity, and he's kind of unique on how he's powered.
Yeah, and it's interesting, they kind of threw in a lot of plot points from the Man of Steel film as a similar, being created by Zod. He's continuing on he's preserving the legacy of Krypton, and then also when he sees the rocket, he's also you see the many different Eradicators are going out to different worlds to find that rocket, which is very similar to what the Zod's Kryptonians were doing, trying to find another home for Krypton in the Man of Steel, and that was a nice. It's a nice way to solidify his backstory a little bit more, because as much as I love the Eradicator in the old comics, I felt his backstory of just taking over for Superman didn't quite do it for me. This helps to really tie him to Krypton itself.
Yep, I agree with you. This one he is sure about himself. He's not been corrupted by Superman or the planet. But did he have to eat Krypto?
I know, but the writers of Superman do not like animals, between the cat and now Krypto. And I was so happy to see Krypto, and then he gets eaten, 2 pages later?
Yeah. I like Jonathan Kent. I think he's going to be a really cool character. My favorite part is when he takes the super cape and he burns it into his super jacket, and he sticks his tongue out, just like a little kid concentrating so hard he sticks his tongue out. I think that's cool, just to see him being so excited and wanting to help out his dad. They say that he's growing into his powers. His body is adapting, so sometimes they're on, sometimes it's off. But when he gets mad, he packs quite a wallop.
Yeah, I will say I think the one thing that kind of annoys me about this is they spend so much time on why Jonathan isn't as powerful as Superman, or why he does take some injuries, he does have some vulnerabilities. He is half human.
Right.
I mean, you'd think the powers would kind of diminish a little bit if he marries a human. That's normally how it works in sci-fi. I mean, just thinking about Star Trek with Deanna Troi, she's Beta Z, but she's not fully Beta Z, so she doesn't have telepathic powers, she's just empathic. It seems like that would be the explanation, but maybe Lois and Clark are just a little dense to think about that. I don't know.
If anything, he's probably wound up being stronger than Superman for some reason.
Yeah,
as the body kind of adapted. The Eradicator feeds off the souls of the Kryptonians. They were able to talk to Superman. I wonder if we're going to see, once the Eradicator, is he going to be gone forever, or does he somehow populate a new planet with these Kryptonian souls, and they learn more of the history of Krypton? Because Superman, even though he's Kryptonian, he's not from this universe's Krypton. And Lois brought that up as why we're in this cave. It feels like it's still foreign to us, like we're trespassing into another person's sanctuary.
Yep. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see.
And we'll see what happens on the moon, and if Jonathan goes out, and can he breathe out in the moon, or will he stick his tongue out again? But I like Jonathan, and the Eradicator, I think, will be a pretty good thorn in the side of Superman. Hopefully he's not a one-off character. Action Comics number 959 and Action Comics number 960. The Path of Doom Part 3 and The Path of Doom Part 4. In Part 3, Superman rescues Lex Luthor before he gets pummeled. Lex Luthor's suit is destroyed, but he uses a mother box to kind of rejuvenate his suit and gives him a new suit. The Clark breaks his arm when he falls down, and he meets up with Superman down in the sewers. They have a talk of heart to heart of how can you be existent. Superman and Clark will say, like, hey, we're going to get back to this. Down there, he fights Doomsday in the sewers, kind of trying to isolate him, but every time he gets close to getting an edge on Doomsday, he turns the tide, which is this one. He hits a gas pipe, causing a major explosion, and Clark is looking around, and all of a sudden Doomsday is on top of Clark looking to strike that killing blow. Brings us to Action Comics number 960, The Path of Doom Part 4. The green-robed person is still watching. He's kind of, some of these places are in place, and he calls him the wild card, which I believe he called Clark the wild card. Wonder Woman arrives to join the fight, and she saves this Clark. While they're fighting, at the point in time, Wonder Woman and Superman end up staggering Doomsday, causing Jonathan, who's watching at home, to cheer. Well, when he screams that yes, Doomsday picks that up and hears it. And suddenly he disappears. It takes Clark a moment to realize, wait a second, Doomsday's instincts to destroy anything Kryptonian, and he heard Jonathan. So he goes off to destroy Jonathan. It takes Superman and Wonder Woman, they leave to Metropolis to go find Jonathan, and Superman and Wonder Woman end up confronting Doomsday before he gets to Jonathan. This is just a big battle. These last two issues of Action Comics 959 and 960 are big battle scenes. Yeah, battle scenes with a lot of sort of unanswered questions at the same time, with especially who this new Clark Kent is. And it's very interesting that one of the things Clark kills Superman is that, you told me to come back, or some version of Superman. You told me to put in hiding.
Yeah. And Superman has no idea what he's talking about. Maybe that was an alternate version of Superman who told him that, or someone else who was posing as a Superman told him to do that. So it's very interesting, but obviously the poor guy doesn't seem to have powers. So.
No. His arm's broken, and when Wonder Woman sees him, because she, in this, the new 52 version, Wonder Woman and Superman had a romantic relationship, and she knows that this Clark is not Superman. But it was nice to see those two team up, because we have a more experienced Superman fighting Doomsday. Every time he gets, what you think an edge, Doomsday turns the table. But why was he drawn to Jonathan? Why would that, yes, you have a Kryptonian in front of you, why is he drawn to why is he drawn to Jonathan?
Yeah, maybe given that Doomsday could actually sense a Kryptonian from that far away, maybe he's a little bit more powerful than the previous Doomsday. Maybe he has a bit more of a sadistic streak if he's going for a soft target like Jonathan. Who knows?
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true. The guy in the green robe is obviously manipulated the situation. He's still watching, saying that Superman's not going to be able to beat him with brute strength, but by thinking. What is his role going to be in this? And I still say it's Asmodeus, but why is he watching? What is he hoping to gather? And is he going to make his end move anytime soon?
Yeah, Yeah, that'll be interesting to see what role, I mean, what he would want with Superman and Superman's foes. It'll be interesting to see too what happens between Superman and Luthor, given that a good portion of Metropolis just got blown up thanks to one of
Yep.
Superman's fights that Luthor wasn't there for. So that might give Luthor a bit more of a excuse to go after this Superman.
What was your out of this stack of comics we reviewed? What's been your favorite storyline so far?
I want to say it's probably been Action Comics with the fight with Doomsday, or Hal Jordan in the Green Lantern Corps.
Yes.
Why can't we just call it Green Lantern Corps? He's part of the Green Lantern
Right.
Corps. But yeah, those, I mean, Hal Jordan and Green Lantern Corps picks up what I'm familiar with mostly. I mean,
Yes.
I know the characters, I know a lot of these, and with Action Comics, I grew up with the Death and Return of Superman story arc, and I'm just waiting for Clark to realize, just take Doomsday to the moon, just like what Cyborg Superman did. Strap him to an asteroid, throw him away. That's
Let someone else deal with
yeah,
it.
that's what Cyborg Superman did. It worked out pretty well, and he wasn't even the good guy. So yeah,
I'm enjoying Action Comics, Green Lanterns. Green Lanterns, I'm really liking. I like that storyline. We're a little bit farther into it. I was waiting to get a couple of issues before we reviewed it. Wonder Woman, I think, is pretty cool. Actually, I've enjoyed pretty much everything. Every week is 8 issues here, 9 issues there that you have to read. And these are just kind of like the Superman titles. Next episode, we're going to talk about the Batman titles of Batman, Nightwing, Green Arrow, Harley Quinn, Suicide Squad. But in the meantime, we'll wrap this up. If you have any questions or comments, what have you thought so far on DC Rebirth? Drop us a line at Delve Into the Void on our YouTube and our Facebook page. So until next time, when we review another stack of comic books, I'm Tom Morris.
and I'm Josh Olderbaum.
And keep reading, keep enjoying, and we'll be back with another round of comic books. Till next time.